So this is a basic flow we're going to do. We'll move through it slowly, and I will give you modifications that you may need. If you want to grab, I have this foam block, but if you have something like a thick book or a little box or something that's sturdy that you can use, this is just for some modifications if you need it. And if you don't have it, that's okay, but it may come in very handy. So if you want to grab one of those, and then we'll just get started. So we'll do the warm up, we'll do the sun salutations, and then we'll do a couple little sequences. So just come to a seated position. Just place your hands on your knees, close your eyes, and just begin to center yourself here. Take this time for yourself. And just move in ways that feel good. If there's something that does not feel good for your body, don't do it. You don't want to feel any kind of pain. Discomfort, yes. Pain, no. So just follow along with me, and we'll have a nice little workout. So I'm going to ask that we begin with taking our Ujjayi breathing. Again, equal inhales and exhales, in and out through the nose, with a constriction in the throat, and make it audible. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And just open your eyes. Take an inhale, arms up overhead, and just bring your right hand down to the mat and stretch your left arm over your head. Try to rotate your rib cage up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, right arm high, gaze up. And then inhale back up through center. Let's take a twist over to the right. Inhale back up through center, exhale over to the left. And then come back through center and just bring yourself to the center of your mat. Bring your legs as wide as your mat, touch your toes together, sink your heels down. Walk your hands forward, bring your forehead down to the mat. This is called child's pose, balasana. Also I'm just putting my head up so you can hear me, a resting pose. So at any time while you're practicing, if your breath is getting choppy, or if you're holding your breath, or if your breath is laborious, just come back into child's pose and reconnect with your breath. You want your breath to be even and steady throughout your whole practice. You really don't want any point where you're out of breath. So if that's the case, come down to child's pose and reconnect with your breathing. So forehead comes down to the mat, and we're just going to do some stretches here. So walk both arms over to the right side. So you got a nice stretch through the left side of your body. And then walk your hands through center, bringing both hands over to the left side. You can put your right hand over your left and just get a nice stretch in the right side of your body. And then hands back to center. And we're just going to open our shoulders a little bit here. So just come up on your knees and walk your feet out. Walk your hands forward. You can put your forehead down on the mat or your chin, and you should feel this opening up your shoulders. So just stay here for a few breaths. This is called extended puppy pose. And And then walk your hands back so you're in your tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Moving through some cat-cows. So inhale, drop your belly, tailbone high, look up. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone and your chin for cat. And then just flow through a couple of these with your own breath. Take one more round. And then meet back in a neutral spine. On an inhale, extend your right arm forward. Kick your left leg back, bring it up to the level of your hips. You want your toes pointed down. And you're stretching out in both directions, like somebody's pulling your hand forward and pulling your foot backwards. Stretching out the spine. And inhale, bring your right arm out to the right, left foot out to the left. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, bring it back to center. Put a bend in your left leg. Take your right arm and just grab onto your leg, grab onto your foot. If you don't quite reach, that's okay. Just to your ability. Take a little stretch here. Everything flattened out again, and then back down to the mat. Inhale, left arm comes forward, right leg comes back. Inhale, left arm comes out to the left, right leg goes out to the right. Inhale here. And then exhale, reach long. Put a bend in your right knee. Bring your left arm back. Grab the shoelace side of your foot. Again, if you're not quite there, just bend the knee as much as you can and just reach back with your left hand. Just for our little stretch here. And then exhale everything long and bring everything back down to the mat. And one more little shoulder stretch we're going to do right here. So bring your right hand up. Twist up towards the ceiling. Thread your right arm under your left arm. Bring your shoulder and your temple down to the mat. Walk your left hand out in front of you. And just breathe here. And then inhale, bring your left hand back, twist it back up, and then bring your hand back down. Other side, inhale your left arm high towards the ceiling, taking a twist. And then exhale, thread your left arm under your right, shoulder and temple to the mat. Bring your right arm out and breathe here. On your next inhale, bring your right hand back, bring that left arm back up again, and then bring it down. Walk your hands forward a couple inches, tuck your toes, lift your hips up high, coming into downward facing dog. And just take a moment, pedal your feet out. Come up and down on your toes. Wiggle your hips back and forth. Just stretch out in any way that feels good for you. And just working out any stiffness that you may have right now. And then find some stillness. Reconnect with your breath. And then look forward. Step your right foot between your hands. Again, if you need an assist, grab on your ankle, bring your foot up, left foot to meet. Put a deep bend in the knee, and then slowly roll yourself up one vertebra at a time, up to stand, so you're back in mountain pose, Tadasana. Moving through some sun salutation A's. So, toe mounds to touch. Legs are engaged. Pelvis is neutral. Ribs are knitted in. Shoulders are down the back. Back here. So inhale, arms overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hinge from your hips, not your waist, your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back, left foot back to meet it into the high plank. And here you can take your half chaturanga. That would be your modification for this. We'll skip the knees, chest, and chin this time. So go ahead, your knees down, shoulders 90 degrees. Bring yourself down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, tall cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Bring yourself back up into downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Bend your knees, gaze forward, and step your right foot up, left foot to meet it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, all the way back up to stand, hands to touch, and then exhale your hands into prayer position. We'll do that on the other side, leading with the left foot. So inhale, arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, hands towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left foot steps back, right foot steps back to meet it. I'm going to do a full chaturanga because I'm working out here, but bring your knees down. As you get stronger, you can rock yourself forward, bend the elbows 90 degrees, and then come up to outward facing dog, which is different than cobra, because as you can see, just the tops of my feet and my hands are on the ground. Cobra is this. Okay? You do what works for you, and then come back into your downward facing dog. Take an inhale, take an exhale. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step your left foot between your palms, bring your right foot up to meet it. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, hands to touch. Exhale into prayer. Sun salutation B. Inhale, sink your hips down low, arms come up high. Utkatasana, awkward chair. Again, make sure you can see your toes. You don't want duck butt. Keep your butt in. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back. Take an inhale in your high plank. Then lower chaturanga or half chaturanga. Again, bring your knees down if you need to. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. Inhale your right foot forward between your palms. Back foot 45 degrees. Front knee 90 degrees. Rise up, warrior one. Virabhadrasana 1. Go tall. Make sure your hips are centered forward. Inhale. And exhale your palms down to the mat. Step back into your plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale your left foot forward between your palms. Back foot comes 45 degrees. Rise up, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale. Palms down to the mat. Step back into your high plank. Take a breath in. Lower chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Gaze forward, bend your knees, and step yourself or hop yourself forward. Inhale, halfway to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, bend your knees, arms up, back into awkward chair. And then exhale, hands down to your sides. So we'll flow through Sun Salutation B again, leading with the left leg. And I won't cue as much, I'll just cue the breath and the poses. So, starting in your mountain pose. Inhale, sink down, awkward chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step your left foot backwards, right foot to meet it. Inhale in your high lunge. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Right foot 45 degrees. Rise up, warrior one. Take an inhale here. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Left foot meets the right in a high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. On your next inhale, right foot steps forward between your palms. Back foot 45 degrees. Rise up, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back into high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. So inhale. 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, gaze forward, and step or hop yourself to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms up, awkward chair. Exhale, hands down to your sides. So that completes our warm-up, and we're gonna flow through a couple sequences here. So I'll talk you through it. There's a couple new poses here. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Step back into your high lunge. This is what we're doing. We're flowing through our vinyasa. We do that a lot in vinyasa yoga. Exhale, chaturanga, using your knees if you have to. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, bring your right leg high. Now, keep your foot flexed, and you want your hips down. So internally rotate that back thigh. And then inhale, step that foot between your palms. Lower your back leg, knee, untuck your toe. Come up here, arms up. This is called low lunge, Anjaneyasana, hip opener. Stay here for a minute. Inhale, grow tall, then exhale, cactus your arms backwards. Take a little back bend. Then inhale up, exhale, cactus. Inhale up, one more time, exhale, cactus. Inhale, and then arms come down, tuck your back toe and lift your knee. Get your balance here, ground down into both feet. We're going to be lifting our arms up overhead, coming into a high lunge. So breathe here, hips centered forward, energetically reach up and out through your fingertips. And then exhale, bend your front foot. Straighten your front foot. Take an inhale. And then exhale, fold over that straight leg. And this is a wide-legged pyramid pose. So you want to keep your right hip pulling back, left hip pulling forward. Try to keep your back as flat as you can. Suck your belly in and up. Breathe here. Inhale. And then exhale, bend into your knees and hop the left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, arms into prayer position. Other side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Step the left foot backward. Step the right. Take an inhale in your high lunge. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale your left leg up, toes pointing down. Bring it forward in between your hands. Lower your right knee. Untuck your back toe. Arms rise up. Low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Push your hips forward. And breathe. Dig in on the top of your foot to help you keep your balance on that back foot. So inhale, grow long. Exhale, cactus your arms back. Take a back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale one more time. Inhale, arms up. Down, frame your foot. Tuck your back toe. Lift your knee. Root down into your feet. Make sure you have your balance. And then arms come up. Woo, high lunge. Take an inhale. And take an exhale. One more inhale. And then straighten your left leg. Arms come down to frame your foot. Now, I didn't say this on the other side, but your arms can come down to the mat. They can come to your shin. If you have your block, you can, actually if you have two, that'd be great. But even just one, you can just lean on it with your your right hand. Okay. And just breathe here. Your gaze is towards your toes. And this is a hamstring stretch. You should really feel this. I feel it a lot. And then hop your right foot up to meet your left at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands into prayer. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. Again, if you need to take a child's pose or pause the video to reconnect with your breath, make sure you do that. Okay, we're going to do another standing sequence. So, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step back into your high plank. Lower chaturanga. Again, use your knees. You can come all the way down. And then come up into your high cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg high. And step it forward between your hands. Now, hair's getting in my way. You're going to rotate your back foot so it's parallel with the short edge of your mat. Then you're going to cartwheel your hands up into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So again, you have your right leg 90 degrees. Arms are reaching out like somebody's pulling you. Gaze is out over the right middle finger. Then we're going to move into a pose called side angle pose. So you can take your block here if you like. There's a couple different options. So you lean forward. You can rest your forearm on your thigh and bring your arm up overhead. You should have one long line from your foot energy shooting out through the tips of your fingers. If you'd like, you can use a block, or your book, hand on the ground. And just breathe. And just try to rotate your rib cage up towards the ceiling. And then inhale yourself back up to warrior two. Flip your front hand, bring it back for peaceful warrior. So it's just a side stretch through the right side of your body. And then bring it back to warrior two. And straighten your front leg. We're coming into a pose called triangle pose, Trikonasana. So bump your left hip back, reach your right arm forward as far as you can, and then bring your hand down. Again, you can use a block. You can place your hand on your shin, your ankle, or use it as to push your chest open. Left arm reaching high towards the sky. Breathe here. And then inhale yourself back up, and we're going to do a peaceful triangle. Same thing we did, except our front leg is straight. Now we're going to try a balancing pose. So I highly suggest you have your block or your book or your box, whatever you're using. I'm going to move back a little bit. So place the block about 6 to 8 inches on the pinky toe side of your right foot. You're going to put a bend in your right leg. Fingertips go on the block. What you're going to do is bring your left foot up behind you. Put your left hand on your hip. Open up your hip. So both legs are straight. Your left foot is flexed and your hips are stacked on top of each other. Now you can stay here and just work on your balance. Look down. That's the easiest way to balance. If you feel stable here, go ahead and lift your left arm up towards the sky and open up. This is called half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, and it's one of my favorite poses. And then look down, bend your knee, come back slowly and gracefully back into warrior two. Move your block out of the way, okay? Then we're going to cartwheel our hands down and flow through the vinyasa. So hands down to the mat. Step back, high plank, take an inhale, lower chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Catch your breath here. Inhale your left leg high and step it forward between your palms. Right foot rotates so that it's parallel to the back of your mat, and I'm going to have my back to you. And then cartwheel up into warrior two. Again, arms stretching out in both directions. Shoulders are relaxed. Make sure this knee doesn't come over your ankle. You want it 90 degrees or less. Don't let it come over. Then we're going to do the side angle. So reach forward. Again, you can put your forearm on your thigh and bring your arm straight overhead, reaching towards the side. Or you can bring your hand down to a block and breathe here. Inhale yourself back up into warrior two, and then back into peaceful warrior. Side stretch. Hand can rest lightly on the back of the leg, or you can bring it around like this. And then arms back into warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Bump your right hip back. Reach as far forward as you can with your left before folding down. Again, hand on your shin, ankle, a block, or pressing your chest open, right arm towards the sky. Trikonasana, triangle pose. And you should really feel, imagine energy shooting out in 5 directions. Down, rooting yourself into the earth, through your feet, out through your fingertips, shooting out through the crown of your head. And inhale, come up and reverse your triangle. And then trying half moon on the other side. So put a bend in that knee, grab onto your block or your book, moving back about 6 to 8 inches lined up with your pinky toe. So the first thing you're going to do is bring that right foot up, right hand to your hip. And find a focal point. I didn't tell you on the other side, but find something that's not moving that you can gaze at, called a drishti, to help you keep your balance. So once you're balanced here, go ahead and try to open up your hips so that they're stacked one on top of the other. Feel stable here. If you do feel stable enough here, go ahead and lift your right arm high up into the sky. And again, feel that energy shooting out. You gaze down, it's easier to keep your balance. And then put a bend in your leg and slowly and gracefully step back into your warrior 2. Move your block out of the way. And then we're going to flow through the vinyasa. So cartwheel your hands down, high plank, inhale, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Now take a few breaths here. Reconnect with your Ujjayi breath. Make sure you can hear yourself breathing. We're going to do one more standing sequence. On your next inhale, bring your right leg high. Step it in between your palms. Root down into both feet. We're coming up into high lunge. So arms come up, back leg is straight and engaged, front leg 90 degrees, hips forward. And inhale and exhale here. Now we're going to be taking a twist. So inhale, find some length, and then exhale, open your arms up to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the right. Open up your palms, open up your hands. Back through center. Open up one more time here. Back through center. Then bring your hands down. Lower your left knee, untuck your left toe. Back into our low lunge. And what we're going to do here is a little quad stretch. So plant your left hand down, bend your left leg. Now, see if you can reach back and grab your foot. If not, just bend it in and extend your hand back. As long as you feel a stretch, you're doing the pose. And just breathe here. Breathe into that left quad. It should be burning. And then slowly lower it back down. Hands down. Tuck your toe. Knee up. And back up into your high lunge. Inhale. Straighten your front leg. And come back down into this wide-legged pyramid. And put a bend in the knee. Bring your left leg to meet your right. Now, we're going to inhale up into upward chair, Utkatasana. Bring your hands into prayer position at your heart. We're going to take a twist. So, you can keep it up high like this. One thing I wanted to mention, again, make sure you can see your toes. When you do twist, make sure your knees stay together. You don't want one knee going up, one knee going back. Keep them exactly how they are right now. You're just twisting from your spine, not from your hips or your knees or anything like that. So exhale, twist to the right, keep it high, or hook your left elbow by your right knee, and then press into your palms to open up and gaze up towards the ceiling, and breathe. Inhale through center, keep your hands in prayer, and twist to the right, twist to the left. Either keep it up high like this, or hook your elbow. Your thighs should be burning right now. And then inhale forward, fold over straight legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step back to high lunge. Flow through your vinyasa. So lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then one more time on the other side. And we'll do some seated and laying down stretches. So get your breath here. Inhale your left leg high for down dog split. And step it between your palms. Get your balance, root down, rise up into your high lunge. And then exhale, twist open to the left. Arms up, center. Exhale, open up to the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, open it up to the left. Inhale, back through center. You can put your hands down like we did before, or if you need a little bit of a challenge, just slowly lower yourself down to your knee, untuck your toe, coming into low lunge again. Just stay here, let your hips open a bit. And then bring your right hand down, root it into your mat. Put a bend in your left knee. Again, reach back for your foot. If you're not quite there, bend it to your ability and just reach back for a quad stretch for your right quad. And then slowly lower your foot back down, tuck your toe, lift your knee, rise back up into a high lunge. Take a breath in, take a breath out, take a breath in, and then straighten your front leg, fold forward into the wide leg pyramid. Again, hands can be here, on blocks, or down. And breathe. Keep pulling your left hip back and your right hip forward. Then put a bend in both knees and bring your right foot up to meet your left. Bend your legs and come forward up into Utkatasana, awkward chair. Exhale your hands into prayer position. And take a twist to the left. Keep it up high. Hook your elbow. Keep it low. I love doing twists because they detoxify your internal organs. And it really helps with your digestion. Keep breathing. And then exhale back through center. Take an inhale. And then exhale, twist over to the right. Again, make sure your knees are the same here. Don't be going like this. You want them glued together. One more inhale. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back into plank. Take a breath in, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're done with our standing sequence. You should feel a lot looser. This down dog should feel a lot better than the first one. And then just walk your hands back towards your feet. Put a little bend in your knee and let your belly rest on your thighs. Grab opposite elbows and just hang. You can sway back and forth. No tension in your neck. This is called ragdoll. This feels good. And then just let your hands come back down to the mat. Keep those knees bent. Roll yourself up to stand. One vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug your shoulders up and then let them fall back. And then just come to your mat here to the center. Take a seat. And we'll do some seated stretches. Okay, so first one we're going to do is called Paschimottanasana. It's basically bending forward to touch your toes. It's a little different in yoga, so you want your legs straight and engaged. You want your thigh muscles engaged. You want to make sure you're sitting on your sits bones and toes are flexing back towards you. You're going to take an inhale, arms up overhead, grow long, and then hinge forward from your waist. So you might not go very far. If you're rounding your back, yeah, you can get down here, but you're not doing the pose the way it's supposed to be done. So I can go this far. You can grab onto your shins. You can hook your toes in a little toe lock. So you want to keep your spine straight, suck your belly in and up, and concentrate on pulling yourself forward instead of down. Forward. Gaze towards your toes. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. And then inhale back up. Keep your left leg where it is. Bring your right leg out so your foot is touching the inside of your left thigh. This is called Janu Sirsasana. So what you're going to do is inhale, arms up. Take a slight twist so that your sternum is lined up over your left foot. And then fold forward. Same thing. Spine is long and straight. Grab under your toes or onto your ankle, shins. Gaze forward and breathe. Again, focusing on pulling yourself forward, not down. And then inhale yourself back up. Keep your right leg where it is. Open up just a bit with your left leg. And this is called revolved Janu Sirsasana. So what you're going to do is left arm comes down next to your left leg. If you can, grab onto your foot. If not, keep your hand down. Right arm comes up and over. Again, you may be right here and that's fine. Eventually, you want to get your right hand to grab your toes and spin yourself up. And just breathe here. Again, you do this how it feels good for your body. I know when I started, I think I was like right here. And that's okay. And then inhale yourself back up. And let's switch our legs out. So right foot comes straight in front of you. Left foot bends in. Bottom of your foot on the inside of your right thigh. Inhale. twist so that you're centered over your right leg, and fold. Grabbing onto your shin, your ankle, or your foot. Gaze towards your foot. Suck your belly in and up. It's called Uddiyana Bandha. It's an energy lock and keeps the energy in your abdomen, and it makes it easier to fold. And then inhale yourself back up. We'll do revolves on the other side. So just open up your right leg a bit. Keep your left foot in. Right arm comes down next to your leg. You can grab onto your foot. Left arm comes up and over. And just feel the stretch here through the whole right side of your body. Keep breathing. And then inhale yourself back up. We're going to do a stretch called Gomukhasana. It's called cow face pose, which is kind of weird. But anyway, so left leg is under your right leg. You want to try to stack your knees on top of each other. You might not stack all the way, that's okay. You want to be grounded in both of your sits bones. Now, I'm going to turn around so I can show you how the arms go. No, I'm actually not. Bring your arms out, okay? Left hand, turn your thumb down. Then bend both arms behind you. So you may be able to grab onto your fingers. You may just keep them behind you. Grab onto your shirt. I'll show you real quick. So you're like this. You want to be like this. Again, if you can't reach, this is good. You can grab onto your shirt. Doesn't really matter. However, you can get your shoulders opened. So we got our cow face legs. We got our cow face arms. And you want to be sitting up straight here. You don't want to be hunched like this. Up straight. You can stay here, or you can fold forward, keeping your spine straight. And just breathe here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Then inhale yourself all the way back up, and let's switch it around. So right leg under left. Try to get your knees as stacked on top of each other as you can. You may be here. Depends on how open your hips are. Now we're going to do arms out, right thumb, rotate. Ooh, I'm getting my hair. Okay. Up straight, stay here, or fold forward with a straight back and stay here for 3 breaths. 3, 2, 1. Inhale yourself back up. Untwist, unwind. Shake it out a little bit. And both feet back out straight in front of you. Put a bend in your right leg. Bring it over so that your right foot is on the outside of your left thigh. Flex your left foot. And hand can go here. Inhale your left arm high, then take a twist over to the right. So you can grab onto your knee, or you can use your elbow to help you deepen the twist. You want to gaze back over your right shoulder so your right palm is behind you on the floor. And breathe here. Again, try to grow a little taller on your inhales, twist a little deeper on your exhales. I think twists are my favorite kind of yoga poses. And then come back forward. Take just a small counter twist onto the other side. And And then come up, switch out your legs. Right leg long, bend in the left knee, left foot outside of right knee. Left hand behind you. Inhale your right arm up and twist towards the left. Again, grabbing onto the knee or using your elbow to help you twist even deeper. Gaze out over the left shoulder and breathe. And then come forward and let's do a couple back bends here. So this is something called dancing camel. So come up on your knees. Keep your knees about hips distance and tuck your toes. Okay, now you're going to take your right hand, reach back for your right heel. Left arm is going to swing up like this. Then for the dancing part, you're just going to swing your arms around like this. Grab onto your left ankle, right arm overhead. Exhale all the way around to the other side. Inhale up. And then just do a couple of these with your own breath. And this is camel pose, Ustrasana. We're just doing it in a dynamic type of way. A couple more. One more to the other side. And then full camel is very difficult for me. Maybe not for you. But if you can reach your heels and push your hips forward, head goes back. And this is camel pose. If that's not happening, that's okay. Just bring your hands to your low back. Elbows come back. Inhale, grow yourself tall, then just lean back. Make sure your lower back is supported. And keep breathing here. And then just inhale yourself back up very slowly. Take a little child's pose here, just with your legs closed. Actually, we'll do rabbit pose. So, knees closed. You sit back on your heels. Forehead's going to come down. Actually, the crown of your head's going to come down to the mat. Arms are behind you. Grab onto your heels and roll yourself up. And this is just countering the back bend that we just did. And this should feel really good on your back. And then come back down and lift yourself back up. We'll do one more back bend. So come down onto your back. And this is bridge pose, which you may be familiar with. So your soles of your feet are down, hips distance apart. Your fingertips should touch the back of your heels. On an inhale, you're going to lift your hips up high. You want your thighs to engage. You want your legs to, don't let them splay out. Keep them parallel. You can support your lower back here. You can keep your hands down like this, or you can scooch your shoulder blades under and interlace your fingers. And you're pressing your hips and your chest up towards the ceiling. Gaze is down the tip of your nose. Three more breaths here. 3, 2, and then 1. Slowly lower yourself back down. windshield wiper your legs back and forth. And then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little squeeze. Bring your forehead up to your knees. And then come back flat onto your back again. I'm just going to do a very mild inversion called legs up the wall. So what you want to do is just lay on your back. Hands are flat at your sides. You're just going to bring your legs up. You want to flex your toes. You want to make sure your lower back stays on the ground. Okay? You don't want to be so. And this is just considered an inversion because your any yoga pose where your head is below your heart or your blood flow is flowing the opposite way is considered an inversion. So really, downward facing dog is really an inversion as well. Just breathe here. One more inhale. And then slowly let your legs come back down to the mat. And then bring your knees back in. And let your feet fall back down to the mat like we did in the beginning of bridge. You're going to take your right leg. You're going to have your right ankle on your left knee. Your right knee is, you want it to flex out. Then you're going to thread your right arm in between that little triangle area that your legs are making. Either bring your hands behind your left thigh or in front of your left shin, whatever's comfortable for you. Take an inhale and then exhale. You're just going to work on bringing that left leg in to stretch out your right outer hip. Both feet flexed. And just breathe. And keep your lower back glued to the mat. And then exhale, bring everything down and switch to the other side. So left ankle comes to right knee, left arm threads in between. Again, back of your thigh, front of your shin, and pull it in. And you should really feel this like all right here. And then exhale back down to the mat. Bring your knees in. Take your hands, grab the outsides of your feet. Okay, this is called happy baby. So pretend you're like a baby in your crib and you're playing around with your feet. So again, don't want to be up like this. Keep your lower back down. Feet come up. You're going to work on pressing your knees down. And you can stay here. You can rock them back and forth. Take your two peace fingers and your thumb. Grab onto your big toe. This is called a yogi toe lock. Maybe try stretching out one leg and then the other leg. My knees are cracking every time I do this. Maybe try straightening both legs. And then bring them back in. Give yourself a squeeze. And either bring your arms out to a T or to a cactus. Let your both knees fall heavy over to your right side. Keep both of your shoulders down onto the mat and gaze out over the left. And this is a supine spinal twist. And inhale your legs through center. Let them fall heavy to the left. Again, both shoulders stay on the mat. And look out over your right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Take one more squeeze. Bring your forehead up to your knees. And bring everything out. Use your arms above your head. Legs down straight. Take a stretch here. So I imagine somebody's pulling my hands back. Somebody else has my ankles and is pulling, playing tug of war. Stretching, stretching, stretching. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, sigh it out and let your body relax. One more time. Stretch everything. Take a deep inhale. Sigh everything out. And just let your legs flop open as they naturally would. Bring your hands out to your sides. Shoulder blades down on the mat so your chest opens up towards the ceiling. Palms open to receive energy. Palms down if you feel like you need to ground yourself. I like to keep mine up. Slightly tuck your chin so that your neck stays long. Relax your jaw. Clench your teeth. Relax your forehead. And just feel yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the mat. Letting any tension that you feel just melt away. And you're coming into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Again, stay here as long as you like. Minimum recommended time is at least 5 to 10 minutes. And it's just allowing your body to absorb all the energy and all the movement that you just did. And it's a time to clear your mind and ready yourself for meditation. So lay here as long as you'd like. You can pause the video if you want. And then when you are ready to come out, you just bring your knees up into your chest. Right arm extends out overhead. Fall heavy to the right. Use your right arm as a pillow. Take a few breaths here. And then just pull yourself up into a seated position. Come back into that cross-legged position like we did at the beginning. Close your eyes. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Let your thumbs feel your sternum. Feel your own energy and your own heartbeat. Bow your head slightly in dedication to your practice. The divine light in me honors and respects the divine light in you. I hope this video was helpful for you today. Namaste.